Hey everyone, this is Sandeep back with another video. And in today's video, I'm going to continue our Spring and Spring Boot course. And today, I'm going to talk about creating beans using XML. Now, I know gone are the days, when we used to create beans using XML configuration. Nowadays, we only create beans using annotations, right? Java annotations. But let's jump into the video and understand this because, this is needed. Sometimes this is needed, sometimes not. So let's jump into my notes and let's talk about it, creating beans using XML. So XML is a legacy way of configuring beans in Spring. We don't use XML configuration nowadays. We use only Java annotations, but it's good to know XML way of creating beans for legacy Spring projects. So if there are some old projects, maybe Spring 1 or 2 projects where you may be working in those kind of projects, right? So there is a possibility you need to know how to create beans using XML configuration. There might be a question in the interview also. That's why I wanted to cover this topic. So practically, we are going to do it step by step. The step one, we will create a Java class, a bean. I think I already created a bean just to save the time. Step two, we are going to create the bean configuration XML file. This is important, right? Inside our resources folder. You can create it inside a resources folder if you have a proper Maven project, or maybe we can create directly inside our source folder also. Okay. Step three, define bean tag for the class and set its values. So we need to define the bean tag inside our XML configuration file, which we have created in step 2. Step number 4, create a context using class path XML application context. And step 5, get the bean using getBean method. So let's jump into the IntelliJ now. And step 1 is we'll create the Java class or bean, and I already did that. So I have the project bean XML configuration created. Inside that, I have already created a go bean with the IMEI number property, the getters and setters, and two methods like calling and data. And there is a toString method also. I also declared a no-R constructor. This is important. Otherwise, you're going to see an exception when you're going to create a bean using XML configuration. So the step one is done. We already have a Java class or a bean. Java class, I would say, is created. Let's do the step 2 where we are going to create the bean configuration XML file. So I'm going to create my bean configuration XML file directly inside my source folder. You can do that. Okay. So let's create a beans.xml, and inside that we need to define our bean. But I need the XML structure for that. So let's search for Spring XML configuration. And so you don't need to remember this, right? You can just copy and paste. So let's copy this syntax from here and just paste it here. Just do some. Just need to put this on the same line. Okay, so we are going to define our bean definition here. So that's really simple. You just need to use the bean, give it a name. So we're going to create a geo bean, right? You need to give the class. Now the class is the exact path, the com cws beans and geo, something like this. And inside bean, you can set the properties also. So I'm going to set just one property. So we have IMEI number property, right? Let's set its value to something like 9999 for now, and let's close it. Pretty simple, right? This is how you define the bean using the XML configuration. Now we're done with the step 3, define bean tag. Step 4, we need to tell Spring, right, where to go and find this bean. So we need to create a context using the class path XML application context. So I'll go back to my main, and here I'm going to create the application context. Let's give it a name of context, and I'm going to create a new class path XML context, and just give it the name. Just provide the name of our beans.xml file. That's it. I think I need to bring this line below so that you can see it. Okay. Oh, what is going on? I try to delete this. Okay, now you can see, right? So I created a context, class path XML, application context, provided the beans.xml. Now this is going to create the beans for us. And now if you want to grab the bean, right, the geo bean, right, I'm going to call it sim. And you can use the same method, right? Context dot get bean, provide the bean name. So we have given the bean name as geo. Just go back and check. Yeah, that is geo. Come back to main, and then the class dot class. That's it. And we're going to print our bean called sim. Now we're going to save. Let's do the clean and install. Should be able to see the target folder created here. Let's run it and fingers crossed. And there you go. We got the error. So what is the error? Cancelling refresh, string bean factory error, creating bean with the name geo defined in the class path resource bean.xml. Nested exception in the bean, invalid property IMEI number. Okay, so I need to check whether I did some mistake in my property name. IMEI number, get IMEI number. Okay, then I have a setter method. Where is the setter method? I don't see the setter method, right? Okay, so we are missing the setter. We have the getter, right? But we don't have the setter, right? I don't need to set it inside my constructor actually. Let's remove this constructor actually. This is confusing. Let's generate the setter method. It's good we got this error at least. I'm going to click on generate, setter, IMEI number. Okay, now I'm going to save, clean, install. Let's run this time. And there you go. We got our geo being created and we can see the IMEI number, all right? So I think a pretty quick video, right? We have seen, like, I have created series of videos, multiple videos of how to create beans in using Spring. We have seen like bean annotation. We talked about the component annotation, right? We talked about the lifecycle methods. We talked about how to create the programmatically create the beans, right? And now finally, this is really important, maybe like someone can ask you how to create the beans using XML configuration, although we don't use it, but still, I just wanted to cover this part quickly. There are many things you can do inside this beans.xml file. Like if you want to use all those, destroy method and init method, right? All those things you can do here also. So whatever we were doing in the using the component annotation or using the bean annotation, using the pre-destroy and all those things, right? You can do all those things here also in the XML. So they basically took everything from XML and put it into the annotation way. So I hope you understood why it is important to understand how to create beans using XML. I'm going to stop here. This is a quick video, and I'm going to see you in the next video of this series, this course. Until then, you take care, goodbye, and thanks for watching the video.